enwere m ike ịsụ asụsụ Igbo kita.
Ana m amụ Igbo online kemgbe 1 month.
For 26 years, I could not speak my family's language, and it made me feel bad. My family speaks a language called Igbo. It's a Nigerian language spoken by over 40 million speakers in southeastern Nigeria. And unfortunately, I wasn't raised speaking it. Being from a mixed family, my dad was the only one around me that spoke Igbo. And when I was growing up, he had his hands full raising 4 children, one of which was special needs, and he tried to teach me Igbo, but whenever he did, well, let's just say I was much more interested in my Game Boy than I was learning his language. So I never picked it up, and for the last 26 years, I could only speak a few words, and I couldn't even communicate with my extended family. My story is very common. So many Americans and children of immigrants around the world don't speak their family's language. And it can make us feel ashamed and like there's something wrong with us and that we're missing out on something. So I said, this year is going to be different. This is the year I finally embrace my heritage, connect with my culture, and find out what I've been missing out on my entire life. And of course, I want to surprise my family at the same time. Because my whole life, they've known me as someone who can't speak Igbo. And that's gonna change. Now, learning Igbo was relatively tricky for 3 reasons. 1, there are not many resources to learn from. 2, I'm disabled, and my disability really kicks my ass sometimes, and it makes me very fatigued very often. And 3, there was a time limit. I had to leave the US in 1 month, and I wouldn't see my dad for a very long time, so this was the only time I had to surprise him, meaning I had to teach myself as much Igbo as possible in 30 days. Learning Igbo was a crazy journey, but it meant so much to me that I had to do it. Day 1. So my learning approach was to look for tutors to teach me directly. Eventually, I stumbled upon an amazing tutor and had my first ever Igbo lesson.
The verb for speaking is swo asusu.
Swo asusu, to speak.
So we have to conjugate. Swo will lose a letter.
Okay.
Enwere m ike ịsụ asụsụ Igbo.
Oh, okay. So the whole sentence would be oh, this is hard.
But your E, it's A.
Okay, okay. Enwere m ike ịsụ asụsụ Igbo kita.
You can see your dad being like.
That lesson was magical. For the first time, I actually knew how to say a few sentences in Igbo, how to construct those sentences myself, and I honestly felt something that I never felt before. It was like a mixture of pride with discovering a lost piece of myself, and anyways, I was just happy. I was happy, and I knew that I needed to continue taking more lessons. Day 5. Honestly, I was starting to progress quite well. I am no stranger to language learning, so within a few lessons, I was already able to get a good grasp of the basics.
That's cool. How many lessons a day? Because you're progressing really good.
I've only do 2 lessons now, maybe 3 lessons now in total.
This is good. You love
Now, I was getting complimented a lot, and it may have gone to my head because soon after the lesson you just saw, I decided to book an intermediate lesson. And let's just say I was not at that level yet.
Burupa. And also Burupa.
Okay.
Mwa, child. Nke abo, the second child. You know Abua is 2.
Abua, I don't know this one.
You don't know, Abua is number 2. You don't know your numbers.
I don't know my numbers now.
Okay, so things we are going to learn. So you see that 1 hour, we're actually going to be taking there.
So that lesson definitely overwhelmed me, and it made me realize that, okay, no, I need to take a step back, take it slower, and be very methodical about my learning. Day 12, flashcards. I'm developing my own language learning app called Fluyo. It's not released yet, and we definitely do not support Igbo yet, but I managed to tweak it to help me review the Igbo words and phrases that I learned in lessons. This way, what I learned would stay fresh in my head for when I spoke to tutors. Day 17. So the flashcards really made a big difference. I finally stopped forgetting a lot of the stuff that I was learning in my lessons, and it helped me remember a lot more and stay fresh in my lessons. And it made Igbo finally start to click more and more for me.
Yes.
Okay, so Ebi
Always come after that.
something. Anye bina Nsuka, Unu bina London. London. Okay. That makes sense. Abu YouTuber. YouTuber bụ onye na-eme ihe onyonyo online. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Slow down.
That's a lot.
And soon enough, the big day was here. It was finally time to surprise my dad with everything that I've learned over the last few weeks.
Okay, so my dad is coming in 20 minutes. I am nervous, I am fatigued, and I'm traveling tomorrow and I'm stressed. But this is the only time because I'm not going to see him for a long time, so hope it goes well. Whew. Hi.
Hi, big guy.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Come on.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I have a little surprise for you.
Surprise for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can sit.
Yay!
Okay.
Am I allowed to be here for it?
Yeah, sure. If you want, you can just. Okay, so I wanted to surprise you a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to. Wait, one second. So I wanted to tell you something, okay?
Yeah.
Let's see. Don't know how to say it, but. Enwere ike isu asụsụ Igbo kita.
Huh? Say again?
Enwere ike isu asụsụ Igbo kita.
Let's see what it is. Okay.
Ana m amụ Igbo online.
Online, okay.
Kemgbe otu ọnwa. So since one month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not Igbo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For example, I can introduce myself. I can say, Abu Ikenna Obi. Ebina, New York.
You've been at New York, yeah? Wow. When do you even have time for all this stuff?
Oh yeah, you're surprised now.
Yeah,
So
I'm surprised, big guy. Yeah. I don't even know when you have the time to learn stuff like that.
Actually, I'm cool something. I want to say something.
You want to say, actually, wow.
First time in Igbo. I don't think I've said this to you. Ahụrụ gị n'anya.
I love you.
So happy to say my dad was super proud and super happy. And he spent like literally the next 30 minutes just proudly teaching me his dialect of Igbo, and it was an amazing moment. And then together we came up with the idea of, hey, let's FaceTime the rest of my family and surprise them. And well, what happened was absolutely crazy and one of the best moments of my life.
Kedu? Ah, grandma.
Mama keki man.
Adimuma.
So you're not seeing because that's what I was saying.
Adimuma. Enwere ike isu asụsụ Igbo kita.
You're not seeing
Kedu maka grandma?
Grandma not there.
Adimuma. Gino akanu? Ana mamo Igbo online. Since 1 month. Kembe 1 month. Ah, dalu. Brenda? Adima, ona no Belgium.
So I'm
Oh, thank you. Dalu. Dalu. You see, grandma's so happy. Listen, Julie. Obini moto enwere ike su Igbo afuma.
Okay. Yeah, soft, man.
Obi di moto.
Us no be the author.
Say.
Obi dị ụtọ.
Obi di moto. Obi di moto. Isu gi Igbo.
Ana m asụ Igbo
Obi
ọfụma.
sikwa m ụtọ na-asị Igbo.
Julie, it is surprised na nasu Igbo.
Ahụ dị m obi dị ụtọ.
Obi dị m ụtọ too. Ọ dị m surprised.
Try.
Isi gị adị egwu. Isi gị adị egwu. Isi gị dị egwu. Your brain is kind of... You're heading too fast, man.
Your head is too fast.
Dike nọ na ndụ.
Okay, Chris.
Okay.
Okay. Ngwan kaodi. Kaodi.
Kaodi now.
Kaodi now.
Take care.
Ngwan.
Kachifo, bye bye. Kachifo, grandma.
Kachifo.
This whole experience was incredible. Finally, I felt like I've connected with my roots and begun on a path to understand myself, my family, and my culture better. It's weird because I grew up my whole life being Igbo, but I don't really feel like I knew what it meant until I started learning my language. I feel like you can't really grasp what it means to be part of a culture until you start learning the language and seeing the culture through that language. Now, if you are also wanting or planning on learning your family's language or just a new language in general this year, I would highly encourage you to do so. Over the last 10 years, I've learned to speak 7 languages, with Igbo being my 8th. And although my Igbo is still very, very basic, every single time I learn a new language, it changes my worldview, and it is just so immensely satisfying. Honestly, go for it. It's gonna be one of the best decisions of your life. And if you're curious about the app that I featured earlier in the video, that was Fluyo. It is my app. It's the app I've been working on with my co-founder for the last 4 years. And it's about to launch in Kickstarter very soon. It is a language app designed for people who have a tough time staying motivated and staying consistent with their language learning, just like all of us. Simply because it is going to be the most fun and efficient language app out there, bar none. And if you want to get early access, you can sign up at fluyoapp.com, and I highly recommend you to do so. Fluyo is based on the method that I use to learn all of my languages, and it's also essentially like a video game that teaches you languages, plus a bunch of different really cool stuff. So definitely, if you're interested and you want to get beta access, sign up for the waiting list on the website. It's also linked in the description. Other than that, be sure to subscribe, because I swear to you, the next video that I'm putting out on this channel is going to be even crazier than this one. And also, of course, please share this video with someone who wants to learn a new language this year. Thank you so much for watching, and Jisike. Take care. Bye-bye.